Hello. Hi. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. This is the Q&A. It is Thursday, and we are here, and it's Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Black Liberation Day. Please tell a Black person that they matter today. We fight for everyone, and it would be nice. It would be a nice thing. Anyway, how's your week? I hope your week is going well. I hope you are getting through, managing your stress, bringing joy in, crying when you have to if you feel the need. Don't run from your feelings. But, of course, when you can. My week is going interestingly. Interestingly. No, the energy has been a bit much, especially past 2 days, Tuesday, Wednesday. Mentally, my wellness was very low, quite honestly, and I was struggling. I don't know. It was a lot. Small things felt bigger. It was hard to function. So I had to take some time to myself Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's what I did. Today is much better. I don't feel like I'm gonna crash out. I feel pretty good as compared to Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know if anyone else has been experiencing an intense range of emotions. Mostly, well, for me at least, very low mood, very intense thoughts, and just wondering how to get out of it. But we're here, it's Thursday, and the wave has shifted, the energy has shifted, and I feel better. So I hope if you were experiencing something similar, you feel better too. I didn't even, it was rough. So, but we're here, and I'm glad to be here talking to you guys. And we have a few questions to get through. Hopefully we can get through them. Hopefully I can get through them. I think we can. Before we begin, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only, for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments, okay? If you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video, and the link will be there, or you can email me moonlightergy15@gmail.com, okay? Let's get into it. Let's just jump right in, because I wasted an hour. I don't know what I was doing, but let's jump in. First question from Observations 11. Now that election interference is becoming more widely discussed, it very much is. Many people are saying nothing can change because Congress certified the election. However, your guides have told you several times that Biden left something behind in regards to that. I'm not sure if it was in regards to that. Can you please ask them if they have any additional information? Sure. Let me just get my bearings here. Let's see. I feel like, I looked at this question. I'm looking at it again, and I feel like we're so far gone from that time period. I feel like we have shifted somewhere else entirely. But let's see. What? King of Swords. Oh, it's the same energy. Always. Every time now, the energy is locked here. Every time I pull cards regarding this situation, I get the same cards. Three of Wands. The Magician. Nine of Pentacles. Oops. Two of Swords. The Emperor. King of Swords. Page of Cups. Page of Pentacles. There's the bells. The answer is yes. He did. And it feels like, again, it's the same sort of energy of waiting for something to come in. There's something about power here with the Magician and the Emperor there. I'm sorry, I'm just waiting. I'm just listening. My thoughts are racing, so I'm trying to slow them down so they could. The message is rather very quick. It's like, there's just so many words. It's so, first of all, guys, the energy is very strong. With this message, it is very strong and very important because it feels like, it's almost like it feels like, the question is very important, right? Because, let me leave that there. He did leave something behind, perhaps without knowing what would happen with it, or it feels like there's two pages here. Maybe he handed off something or gave some information or something to someone, knew something, and perhaps without knowing what would be done with it, if anything could be done with it. That's what it feels like. That's what I'm hearing. It was important. Like, something to do with long term. I need the card. I feel the message, I hear the message, but I need to see the card. It's something with the long term, stability here and security. Something that was there already. It's something. Let me see the card, please. Show me. The Empress is on the bottom. Knight of Swords. Yeah. Something with expansion. Something, But it also kind of feels like he didn't know if anything would be done with that, with whatever was left behind. Like it has to be expanded upon. Whatever was left behind, some information, or let's see. You have the King of Swords there. You have the King of Swords and then the Two of Swords here, and it's like it wasn't completely clear. You know, there's a lack of clarity here, you know. What was it? Like my guides are showing me an image of him passing something on to someone. Something he perhaps signed, or is something that's important. But it also feels Three of Cups on the bottom. Yeah, look. Three of Pentacles. Something secret. Something other people don't know about. It's the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups here. Very few people, but it's a group. 3 and 3. Collaboration. Something he had. It feels like he didn't know if anything could be done about that. Whatever he left behind, though. And it feels very important because the energy is very strong. And it's very strong, whatever it is. Because these two major cards here is the overall energy, I would say. Okay, his authority is something that he did, that he left behind, but it also feels like a lack of clarity. Waiting for something, or something has to come in. You know what I mean? It's unclear, but not a lot of people know whatever that is. Whatever that is. You know, the Page of Pentacles is there. Like more needs to come, but it's slow. There's a lot of unknowns. Maybe dead ends, and requires analyzing with the King of Swords, but it requires what's the word? Creativity, because it feels very very strong, but it also feels like, what is this? Can anything be done? Hope that answered your question. But yes. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Number 2. Harlem Cat 23. Hi, Kim. Hello. Hope you're having a good week. Love and gem. My question is, how do you develop and create your invocations? All of them are so thoughtful and attuned to the beings that you want to connect with. Are these off the cuff? No. Or do you prepare them ahead of time? I'm working on my own for working with my guides and teachers, and curious about your approach, if you can share. Thanks. Well, Harlem, I used to create my own, and if it's something I'm not doing as a recording, I'll create my own. But lately I have been, some of you may chastise me for that, but the people that I've been channeling, or the beings I've been channeling and learning about at the same time, I want to get it right. So I'll put in a few words in ChatGPT, ask for an invocation, and then it'll come up. And so that's what I've been using. You definitely can make your own if you want. I think it's not that hard, but when I record, I want it to be, my words aren't as flowery, so I'll just put a few, I'll put my own and ask them to spruce it up. And so that's what it does. Okay? But when I do create my own, I'll do I don't usually create invocations, it's more like prayers I'll create. I do it all with the intention. So whatever I am, if I'm doing a prayer for the collective, if I'm doing a prayer for myself, a prayer to my spirit guides, that's a little bit more personal. I'll create my own. Always thinking of what is the intention, or what do I want to say, or that sort of thing. Okay. All right. Number 3. Hope to answer your question. Number 3. Lucas D9361. Hey Kim. Hope you're doing good. I was wondering if you could pull cards to see if the Capitol building in DC gets a hole in the side of it. Oh, I can see smoke from the shadow. Okay, Lucas. When I read your question, my guide said something, but let's see. First of all, wow. Okay, got a card flipping out. Ace of Cups. I'm gonna pull it back, because that may not be the card. But if it wants to come out again, it will. Okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. I had to ask a different question. I'm going to take these cards. Actually, I'm going to leave them here. Okay, so we have Justice, 7 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, Judgment, 10 of Cups. Okay, so this is the underlining energy, right? And so what you are seeing is the 7 of Swords, 5 of Wands, Queen of Wands in reverse, the Devil, and the 7 of Cups. Okay, and so when I saw your question, Lucas, my guide said to me, he sees your visions sometimes, not all the time. You see visions. They're not always literal, they're metaphorical. So if you see something like you just described, is more metaphorical. So there won't be a literal Capitol building on fire. More so what's going on, the energy of what is going on in relation to the Capitol building. Which is this energy at the bottom here. This energy on the top is more of what you want to see, what you believe it should be, and what it needs to be. Justice, Seven of Wands. Justice, fair, balanced, use of integrity, Seven of Wands, protecting justice, asserting, my mind just went blank, excuse me, but sort of this standing your ground and what's right. Seven of Pentacles, making what we want to see as citizens flourish for our future, security, stability, that sort of thing. Judgment, people taking responsibilities, and Ten of Cups, harmony, all the good stuff, okay? All the things we are waiting for to come into this energy, okay? And this is what you see here. Seven of Swords, the card of corruption, thievery, where people try to strategically build and work, but it's really sort of flimsy. Five of Wands, conflict, friction, exposure, exposing people for doing things, Queen of Wands in reverse, sort of a loss of power next to the Devil, okay? Also a loss of the willfulness, a loss of determination, what we're seeing, this sort of greedy, dark, this Devil energy here. And the Seven of Cups, the card of illusion, the card of discernment. And when I was reading your question again, this card I knew was going to come up. And what my guides are saying to me is, you part of your gift, or part of your how you see visions, they aren't always literal. It's more this sort of metaphorical, and you can explore this with your spirit guides. It's more of a metaphorical. It doesn't always necessarily mean that it's exactly, sometimes it does. I'm not saying that, but what I feel in your energy is that you see, whatever you asked your guides or your intuition or your inner guidance, it shows up in visions in very interesting ways, and very not always literal ways. And so I think it's always the first reaction to say, like, whoa, that was very vivid and very intense. And then the next, and I'm not saying this arrogantly, or, okay, this is just feedback. The next step is to explore what you saw. Is it an actual, something that is it an event? Is it how I could best understand what we're experiencing? Is that how my guides are showing me through these sort of, because it's not always an actual, that's something I've begun to understand, that some of the things that I see are not, they're metaphors, or they're really not actual events that are occurring rather. Okay, so maybe explore that more, because it really feels energetically not that you may not be seeing an event, according to my guides, that it may be something to explore deeper. I hope that answered your question. All right. Number 4. Number 4. I don't want to mess your name up. Maya Shadara 7207. Hey Kim, I love your readings and channel message. Thank you. Can I ask what will be Kamala's ultimate destiny? Sure. I did do a reading though. I did a reading on that last week before. You should check it out. But I'll do something really short and quick. Jesus. The Hierophant. It's the ultimate destiny. You know, this just popped out. I'm not going to pull anymore. It just popped out as I shuffled. Hierophant is about elevation. The Hierophant is about tradition and institution. So it could represent our government. It could represent any sort of institution. It's an ascension. It's about ascension. You see that ladder ascending all the way up into the heavens? That's what the Hierophant is. So that is her ultimate destiny, is ascension into something great that has to do with institutions. Okay? So there's your answer. All right, numbers 5. Will Netanyahu be held accountable for the innocent people, especially children? Okay. Will the U.S. pay for years of making Israel... Wait, of what? Pay for... Oh, enabling. No. They won't. No. There's no paying for... No. Will the U.S. lose its title as leader of the free world? I mean, no. Not in our lifetime. Nope. I did do a reading on... You guys have to... I know you take breaks from watching videos, but I did a whole reading on him. If you look back through my videos, most recently, I think... Let me see. Bear with me. I went to the wrong thing. It was in a Q&A. I had just answered this question. Yes, he will. Netanyahu, or Bibi, will ultimately receive consequences, but it won't be for some time. It won't be for some time. A year, possibly more. Not months. But yes, he will. In terms of the U.S., no. 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 Not in our lifetime will they stop becoming, quote unquote, their power may lessen, or people, even now, people look at us, and which is the actions of the current administration is forcing other countries to sort of rely on each other more and lean on each other, So, but no, I don't think so. Not in our lifetime. It's not out of the realm of possibility of not being, quote unquote, the leader of the free world, which is, funny, but no, not in our lifetime. Especially if things don't change. It will happen if things don't change, but not in this. Not. Okay? Hope I answered your question. He will though, yes. I see that in his path, but not for some time. Okay. Number 6, DM3133. Will ICE be abolished or at least unmasked and made to be more legal? Provide warrants, have a badge, etc. Who are these ICE agents? We know who they are and who they've always been. Will ICE be abolished? My guys are saying will ICE be abolished? Will ICE be abolished? No. Clear the center. Will they be forced to unmask or ruled that they have to unmask? No. Nope. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. And will they have to provide warrants and wear a badge? Something terrible will have to happen before anyone moves in doing that. And the reason why their faces are covered is because people will harm them for doing what they're doing. So they cover their faces, like the Klan, which is very interesting to me, because if you are doing something within the law, you wouldn't have to cover your face up. But I guess that's what they all decided collectively. Since they are doing what they are doing, do I believe that they enjoy it? Oh yeah, because they finally get to do something, I guess. The thing about it is that more people have been deported under the Biden administration. It went from, let's see, it was almost 800,000 people who undocumented people who came here, and it went from that to, I mean, within 2 years, it went from that to 150, less than that. But the difference is the path to actually, these people weren't kidnapped off the street. They weren't, kidnapped from their jobs or the doctors or the hospital. And it's because people are calling on them. That's what's happening. Yes, they're just picking people off the street, but also police officers. It's real insidious. So that's why they sort of show up at random, or it's really, really insidious what's happening. And it's much, much like, well, I'm not going to say that, but things will get worse before it gets better. I don't see it changing. But what I was saying, the path, with the Biden administration, the path to, people are given due process, people are given a path to actually stay here. Undocumented, the term illegal is just so, it's such propaganda, because undocumented, it simply means they're undocumented, but it doesn't mean they're not in the system. That's why they're able to work, because they are in fact in the system. And I don't know, it's just, let's see the outcome. Let me look at that. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I don't want to lie either as to what I'm seeing and sensing, But I can say the more what is shifting is the people fighting it, saying no, confronting them when they're on the street trying to kidnap someone. I've seen multiple videos of them just simply giving up. So to me, that says you don't really care about the law or someone being here, quote unquote, illegally. You're just doing it for kicks. And, you know, I said it. Two of Swords, the Emperor, Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords, the Tower, and the Hermit. There's an ending, a shocking conclusion, yes. Ace of Swords wants to come out. Social media, people being exposed there. Their corruption, you know, ultimate outcome here for Ice. But yeah, something new will come from the terribleness with the Tower there. A shocking ending. Healing. Six of Swords. Moving from chaos to calm. So that's a good outcome. But it has to, we're not out of that yet. Okay? It's gonna be Eight of Swords, Ten of Swords, a lot of swords here. It's gonna be not good for them. You know, what I sense in the energy. And the people who are being taken and kidnapped, a lot of perspectives will change because I sense something bad. Well, people are really suffering anyway, and the human rights violations alone that that is happening. I do see exposure that will be even more shocking than what people know of already. And I'm, you know, may have something to do with human trafficking. It's really insidious, guys, okay? So, but out of all of that, the ending, yes, the ending will happen. A complete destruction. Abolished? Probably not, but no, I don't see abolished. Neither do my guides, but I see something terrible. And that, you know, the human trafficking thing may not be shocking either, but it'll shock the regular people who won't think that far into it. Okay, number 7. I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry if that was dark, but, you know, it'll be okay. Number 7. Decenal, how do you communicate with your higher self? Meditation advice would be helpful. Seeking advice for healing and being a healer. Thank you. I always know, okay, so meditation, yes. Meditative Mind is a really good YouTube channel that I use, and it uses different frequencies for different things. Your chakras, if you want to connect to your higher self, if you want to open your third eye, you know, if you want to cleanse up your chakras, all of those good things. Really, really good. They have, and it works for me. And that's the main source that I use. I particularly when I know, like, okay, I'm not open. I'll pop that on. I'll choose a particular one, and I will listen to it. Sometimes I'll do things in the background. Sometimes I'll just sit there, you know, and it really clears the way for me to do the work that I want to do. it clears the way for clarity. It helps with my emotions when they are all over the place, you know. I know that I've connected. I don't have, it's not as hard as it used to be. But I know I commune with my higher self when have you ever noticed when you are thinking something or thinking about a topic or something that disturbs you, or and this wise sort of thought comes from, that's your higher self. Or you're able to shift from a space of negativity into either a neutral space or a space of recognizing you're not as trapped, or that's your higher self. And so it comes with how you treat yourself. It comes with self-awareness. You know, there's no real template. It's really about exploring like the shadow parts of yourself, what your struggles are and your obstacles, how you keep yourself well, which can be difficult. It can be, especially when there's a lot of stress in the world and the energy is heavy. But that's how you really commune with your higher self. You have to figure out, you have to become mindful of your stressors and what, brings you into a space of friction. You have to recognize what works for you when it comes to being well and wellness. Do more of that. Be kind to yourself and patient with yourself. It's not perfection. It is not perfection. Okay? So communing with your higher self, it may even happen when you're not even aware of it, but meditation really helps you become more aware of it. And I think exploring who you are and understanding yourself on a deeper level helps you commune with your higher self. And without, doing it non-judgmentally, without the idea of perfection or control. Okay? Hope that answered your question. Number 8. 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐰. Is this conflict in the Middle East the end for Trump? That's a good question. Is this conflict in the Middle East the end for Trump? It's saying no. No. Okay. I don't see that. It's a very interesting conflicts because Strength, King of Swords, Magician. Ace of Wands. Seven of Swords. Listen, same cards, guys. Justice. It's really about how it will be. It's really about how it's spun, you know, what the public perception will be. Won't be the end of him. Like I said before, I did a reading on this conflict. I think I did it in the last, maybe Monday or Friday. But it's very insidious what's happening. And it really is, yeah, it's about, wait, let me shuffle again. So I'm not getting the answer. Let me focus. Eight of Swords. I don't know. It's not going to be the end of him, but I feel like there's a wait and see energy here of what else will happen. You know, how this is being spun, what people's opinions are. You know, there's a king, there's two kings here, the king of cups and the king of swords. And so it's not about what well, I shouldn't say that, but it's more of the energy surrounding the situation. The balance between the rational, the thinking before you act, and the emotional, the king of cups, so the stability there. You want to show our strength. There's something insidious with the Seven of Swords. You know, how it could be spun. This is justice, you know, for what they did, for bombing a hospital. You know, it's really insidious. Okay, but no, it won't be his end. No. It's manipulation. Okay. All right. What's the energy? Number 9. Infinite Curly. What is the energy around AOC? Is she going to stay in the House or aim for Schumer's seat in the Senate? I've channeled her a long time ago. Let's see. I know I did. I talked about High Priestess. Oh. High Priestess. Five of Pentacles, King of Cups, Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Magician. She has the power. She has the power and the determination to do it. You have two major cards here, or three. But she needs more. She's not quite ready yet, energetically. Okay, because there are things she doesn't see fully with the. I mean, you know, the High Priestess is there as a major card. That's, you know, speaks of high feminine energy and wisdom and all those things. But she needs more. This energy has to go here. This has to be dealt with. It's, you know, it's minor cards. It's minor. It's not big life stuff. This is big life stuff. This is preparing her. But she has to gain more knowledge. Okay? And I don't want to say get stronger. That's not necessarily what these cards are doing, but she's recognizing something. I'm not sure if this is her energy with the Four of Pentacles, of, you know, sort of letting go. Either she has to let go of something that has to do with her emotions. She doesn't have all. I know the Magician is here, but it's at the end, and she has to get to that. She has this, though, you know, the intelligence, the power. She has the keys here, but it's not quite ready to put in the lock. She has this, but she needs more. What does she need more of? My guides are saying she needs more support from her counterparts, her colleagues. The grip he has on the power, which is why the Four of Pentacles is there, is very strong. He has to be willing to let that grip go. You know? The High Priest, the Empress is there. She needs more power, quite honestly. There's something about her emotions. There's something she may have to let go of. She needs more power. She has a lot of power, though. You know, her path is great. Her path is great. She's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere, much like she's not going anywhere, but she, you know, is close. It's not out of the realm of possibility that she would run for his seat, you know, challenge him, run for his seat, but she needs more. Perhaps belief in herself. Like, there's something, she's not quite believing it, but energetically she's prepared. But it's something within her, it feels like. Would AOC run for Chuck Schumer's Senate seat? See, it's saying no. You know? Something holding her back. She's not ready though. Energetically, it wouldn't work out for her. She has the potential though, but she needs to do something more, either emotionally, or she needs more power, or yeah, okay. All right. Number 10. Moya Hughes 7469. Will the military follow F-45's order to go into Iran? Yeah, they would. They have a choice. He's the commander-in-chief. So yeah. And he doesn't have to listen to Congress, not exclusively when it comes to, would there be a war? I don't see that. I don't see a war. But in terms of like conflict, if you want it, and they would have no choice but to listen. You sign your life away when you join the army. You join the military. And he is in charge of military. Let's see what the guides say. That's what they told me, but let's... Will the military follow F-45's order to go into Iran? Yep. Clear the center. Will the U.S. join the conflict in Iran? Will they join the conflict? Saying no. Okay. That would be bad, but it's very insidious. Okay. Number 11. Misty Yeti 7523. What is this regime or administration really trying to do to our country? Every time I think I've figured it out, it gets more unbelievable. Let's look at the energy, the collective energy of our country. And then I'll tell you what they're trying to do, okay? And why it can't be done. Okay, so we have here Ace of Swords, 4 Swords, Judgment, 7 of Pentacles, the Hermit, Queen of Pentacles, the Sun, and Wheel of Fortune. And this really speaks to the energy, the current energy of our country. You know, the collective, what's bubbling underneath the, beneath the surface of what we are experiencing here. And so it's really an awakening with the Sun and Judgment there, okay? Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is you get what you put out. You can turn the tide with your behavior. Okay. Really sharing the truth and searching for the truth, communicating the truth, expansion, an opportunity for expansion intellectually, stability and security, a search for that, and focused on our goals, focused on moving forward, moving ahead. This wants to come out, this Six of Pentacles here. Giving and receiving, supporting each other, speaking up, speaking out. Okay, we are at a crossroads with the Hermit there. But we also have the Queen of Pentacles, this grounded sort of energy, grounded, like I always talk about. The energy has to be grounded for things to move forward. No matter how slow it takes, it has to be practical, grounded, aware, mindful, okay? Emotional stability, being in the flow, increased intuition, compassion, empathy for each other. That's where we are, okay, as a collective. Four of Swords here. Resting, resetting for change perspective, okay? Moving into clarity, gearing up for clarity, okay? So that's where we are. And what this administration is seeming to try to do, trying to dismantle every sort of safeguard that we have, make us stupider by trying to destroy the Department of Education, make it harder for us to go to higher education, make it even more expensive, or make it incredibly difficult to afford to pay for your education after you are done. Making it hard to find jobs, making us sicker, okay, making us more exposed to disease, not taking care of the disabled, putting them on lists. And it's very much similar to what, and I say this lightly, I'm not comparing terror and trauma, but it's much similar to what the Nazis did. They did it more violently, whereas you see the violence with people being kidnapped off the street, and he's trying to use them as the green police. But that's a whole other thing, as private police, ICE agents. So, but that's a whole other conversation. But they're trying to disrupt, they're trying to deconstruct us, and it is. And I'm not saying this to scare anyone, but it's what I'm beginning to understand intuitively, and also just with my own eyes and understanding. And so Nazis took over Germany through pure violence, and putting in these sort of programs that they did, it is sort of similar to what this administration and whoever is behind, that's what they're trying to do. And it's very frightening, and they're like, well, bringing back factory jobs, and these deporting people who worked on farms, and all of this, and making it harder for people to complete their education, all this stuff, you know. And okay, well, you take a factory job, and then it's filled, you know, it's so, but it won't work, because this country is very far gone in terms of you know, people, how do I say this? In terms of what people will take, there's too many advocates. You know, even if we feel the law is not working, even if the Department of Justice is clearly doing things that they shouldn't do, you still have, the law is still there, And it is working in some capacity. He is being blocked in a lot of things, and people are pushing back. But he's trying to completely destroy the United States citizens. Whoever's behind him, we know who's behind him, but that's what he's trying to do. But this energy here is not weak energy. It's not. It's not energetically. And this is not necessarily something that we even feel, but this is what is underneath the surface as to why what his administration is trying to do to us will not work. It's too much intelligence. It's too many awakenings happening. It's too many people pushing back. It'll be very, very difficult. It will have to be it's just energetically whatever he's doing is it. I get the frustration in seeing the things and trying to erase history, and you have people in states going along with it, but some people, with going along with it, they're also starting to see the consequence because they were stupid. But they're now starting to see the consequence of their choices, and so when you push people enough, it's not until they themselves are affected that they will even start to push back as well. But energetically, this 1, 2, 3, 4 major cards here. There's pretty strong energy. The sun is there. So we'll be okay. Even though it's tough to see and to hear and to read, I want y'all to know that the energy underneath all of this is fighting, bubbling up. It is here. This is the present energy. And we want this kind of energy to fight this kind of mess. Okay? All right. Number 12. Ellen 1231. I live in Colorado mountains and am so worried about the proposal in the big bogus bill to sell off our public lands. Oh my goodness. This is crazy throughout the western states. If this does happen, will it be a major negative effect for the millions of us who recreate on these lands? Show me what's going on with this. My guides are saying there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger with this bill, and a lot of arguing. I'm seeing a lot of red faces. What my guides are showing me. Yeah, I'm about to use another deck because if those cards come up again, then those are the cards. But I don't think it was the cards. Doesn't feel like it. Didn't feel right. Six of Cups. There's some delays with this bill. All Politics are the worst, I tell you. The devil. It's very frustrating because all of this is about money. At the end of the day, it's just about trillions of dollars that we won't ever see. And we have to go through this every 4 years because they just care about money. Temperance. The Seven of Swords just wants to stay and play forever. There's going to be a lot of delays with this bill because they can't all get on the same page, and there'll be compromises. Where I don't even feel we're to the part where we could ask, with the public lands. The first answer is delays. We have Six of Cups, Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Three of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Hangman, the Devil, Ten of Pentacles, and Temperance. Will the proposal to sell off public lands throughout the western states go through? Let me ask again, because I wasn't holding it correctly. Will the proposal to sell off public lands throughout the western states go through? And they just want to build real estate. It's not even moving. It's saying no, but a very small no. Now it's moving harder. There's some delays with this bill. People are trying to find a real balance with it. There's a lot of negotiations, okay? Even perhaps secrets here. And giving it up. Six of Pentacles and the High Priestess. The Six of Cups always comes up. Looking back. Bringing, trying to bring in stuff from the past that they wanted past. But there's too much. This is mess here. It'll lead to delays with the Hangman. Very slow moving with Page of Pentacles. Is it in the Senate? I don't know, but it feels like slow. Slow moving. Something not good for them in terms of getting it together. Okay. Number... Okay. Number 13, last one. There have been so many laws broken, not only in the U.S., but internationally. Do you see the Hague or the ICC getting involved? Getting involved with the United States? Is that what you're asking me? No, because they can't. Unless something is done on an ICC country that violates human rights. But then again, they have so many sanctions on them, they can't really do much of anything. They sanctioned 5 people from that because they're insidious jerks. They are insidious. Six of Wands, Tower. Page of Cups, bringer of news. 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups. Wow. Somebody's getting the last laugh. I can't say if in terms of the United States, let's see, I don't see how that could happen. I don't, well, you can't, because Veronica, for the United States, we're not an ICC country. So if human rights violations are happening here, then they wouldn't get involved because they can't. Unless the United States does something in an ICC country that involves violating war crimes, that sort of thing. So, you know what I mean? And they put sanctions on them purposely so they can't do their work. But something is happening here that says sort of otherwise. Perhaps a loss of reputation as opposed to, a complete downfall of reputation. A sense of apathy towards us. I don't know. Six of Wands is about your reputation. And the Tower's here. Page of Cups is about and the Tower is the Page of Cups is after the Tower. Page of Cups, pages, they bring news. Page of Cups, the part of it is like being outside the box, or it's, it feels like this is bringing whatever this is, the loss of your complete downfall of our reputation. People not supporting us as a country. And the page brings the 5 of Cups. Grief and loss, heartache. And there's 4 cups here. 4 cups is supposed to be, there's a 1 cup being handed to you that is the divine gift, but you don't want it. You're not looking at it. So maybe not the real consequences, us on the world stage, isolated, what they want. It's so, anyway. Would the ICC get involved with any human rights violation regarding the United States? Saying no. Clear to center. Would the United States' reputation be destroyed due to human rights violations? Par for the course, right? Saying yes. Okay. I have one more question. My question. Then we could go. I'll let you go. Jeez. Okay. Will Donald Trump be exposed for election fraud? Will Donald Trump be exposed for election fraud? Saying yes. Okay. Hard yes. Alright, guys. That's it. I hope you got something out of this Q&A. I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, like the video, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.